The glove compartment creaked open like it always did. Stiff hinge, soft resistance. I reached in, fingers grazing loose receipts and an expired emissions sticker, until I found the envelope. Not mine. White, unsealed, with the seal line still curled. No name on it. Why opened it? A Wellspring bank statement. Joint account. Martin's bonus deposit. I remembered the conversation, him leaning on the kitchen counter, loosening his tie, saying, "It should hit next Friday." It had. And then it left. A $15,000 wire transfer to Kayla or 2 days later. The memo line. Family support. No mention. No discussion. No warning. Just gone. Need something? Martin's voice floated in from the open driver's side door. He was carrying dry cleaning, the bag crinkling against his leg. Looking for that parking pass from the ballet. I said, holding up an old envelope. Not the one. He leaned in, his tone casual. Try the center console. I think I moved it last week. I nodded and shifted my hand. He didn't see the white envelope disappear into my coat pocket. We were halfway through dinner when I spoke. Did Kayla find a new job yet? Martin glanced up from his plate. I think she's interviewing. She's had a rough year. She always does. I let the pause hang, then added, I noticed a large withdrawal from our account. He chewed. Slower. What withdrawal? 15,000. To Kayla. Last week. His fork landed against the plate with a dull clink. That was she asked for help. Just short term. You didn't mention it. She was embarrassed. I studied him. Embarrassed to ask me. You know how she is. Yes, I do. He looked annoyed now. It's not like it's the first time. No, it's not, I said. But this time, it came from our savings. The bonus. I thought it was best not to involve you. That's not how marriage works. He pushed his plate back. I make the money, too. I didn't say you didn't. Silence. Just the faint hum of the dishwasher in the background. Martin rubbed his forehead. She was behind on rent. She said it was urgent. I didn't want to argue. So you gave her $15,000. He shifted in his seat. She's my sister. I'm your wife. I know that. I picked up my water glass. She calls you, cries, and you send money. She needed help. You didn't even tell me. Would it have made a difference? He asked. You hate her. I didn't flinch. I don't hate her. I've seen through her. She's not as manipulative as you think. I leaned forward slightly. She called 3 times in 1 week asking for things, our tickets to the gala, my password to the design software you lent her, and a ride from the airport. That's not helplessness, Martin. That's entitlement. She's struggling. She's a grown woman. He exhaled, loud and frustrated. Why are we even fighting about this? Because you lied by omission. I didn't lie. You didn't tell the truth. He stood, paced to the window. It's not a big deal. It is to me. His voice was sharp now. It's not like I emptied the account. It's the principle. He turned. You've always had issues with her. No. I've had clarity. She's family. So am I. He looked at me like he wanted to say something cruel, then looked away. Is this going to be a thing now? He muttered. I stood and collected our plates. It already is. Later, in the bedroom, he sat on the edge of the bed, scrolling his phone. You're punishing me, he said, not looking up. No, I said calmly, folding a sweater. I'm adjusting to the new rules. What new rules? The ones where trust isn't mutual. That's not Fair, I agree. He put the phone down. I did it to protect her. And you endangered us. He blinked. What do you mean? I had earmarked that bonus for refinancing the second mortgage. He paled. You never said that. I was waiting for the funds to clear. I didn't know. Exactly. He swallowed. I'm sorry. I nodded. Noted. I'll pay it back. You already did, I said. With interest. Just not the kind you calculate. He stood, walked to me. Can we not let this blow up into something bigger? I looked up at him, even and unblinking. Then don't make it bigger. She won't ask again. She doesn't need to. He stepped back, defensive again. So what? I'm not allowed to help my sister now. You're allowed to do anything, I said. I'm allowed to decide what it means. You think I betrayed you? I don't think, I said. I read. I waited until he was asleep. His breathing was shallow, rhythmic. I walked to the home office and opened my laptop. Logged into our bank account, downloaded 3 years of statements. Opened Excel. Column A, date. Column B, recipient. Column C, amount. Column D, source. I created a new tab and titled it Kayla Transfers. Then I pulled the white envelope from my coat pocket, placed it beside the keyboard and began. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The silence was surgical. No text. No candle. No voice. Slipping across the pillow that morning. Just Martin pulling on slacks, asking, You seen my cufflinks? In the dish, I said. He kissed my cheek absently and left. I stared at the door 5 full seconds after it shut. Dinner was soup. I didn't cook. Didn't bother calling anyone. At 8:42 p.m., Martin walked in. Hey. I looked up from the couch. Hey. He loosened his tie. Crazy day. Dan's team is unraveling. He went to the fridge, poured a glass of wine mine and returned. You eat? Earlier. He sipped. We should do sushi this weekend. I nodded. Once? Sure. Nothing. No spark of recognition. Not even the glance of a man who's forgotten something important. I said nothing. Let the silence hold its shape. 3 days later, I opened our credit statement to verify a refund from the dry cleaner. That's when I saw it. $680. Maison Lenoir. Wednesday, 7:13 p.m. My birthday. I clicked the transaction. Additional note. Chef's tasting menu. To guests, Martin was out that night. Said it was a late work dinner. I remembered clearly because I'd waited up with chamomile and the last of my hope. He came home smelling like truffle oil. That evening, I waited until we were both in the kitchen. Who'd you take to Maison Lenoir? He didn't flinch. Kayla. She wanted to celebrate finally paying off her car. I stared at him. On Wednesday. Yeah, my birthday. His jaw moved, a slow click under skin. Shit. You forgot. He set the wine down to hard. I didn't forget. You just what? I lost track. Things have been hectic. Not too hectic for foie gras and scallops. He sighed. I told you. It was Kayla's celebration. You spent $700. She's had a rough stretch. I had a birthday. He softened his tone. I didn't mean to ignore it. But you did. I'm sorry. I stepped around him, opened the drawer, pulled out the small silver box I'd tucked away weeks ago. This was your gift. It's empty. He swallowed. I'll make it up to you. You won't. I said I'm sorry. And I heard you. He placed his hand on the counter. Can we move on from this? Sure, I said. I waited until he fell asleep to open my laptop. New document. Title. Inventory. Line 101. 12. Birthday missed. Dinner with Kayla instead. Line 2. Statement. Maison Lenoir charge $680. I didn't write how I felt. Just what I knew, facts, not feelings. The next morning, I stood at the stove making eggs when he walked in. Smells good, he said, sitting down. I handed him a plate. Do you know how many times you've forgotten? He blinked. What? My birthday. Do you know the count? He shifted. You're still on this? 3, I said. First year, second year, and now this one. He rubbed his face. I didn't realize. You didn't care to remember. That's not true. You had time to plan a whole menu for Kayla. It was last minute. Still thoughtful. I didn't know it was the same night. You never asked. He stood. What do you want from me? Nothing, I said. Absolutely nothing. He exhaled. Like that answer inconvenienced him. That night, Kayla called. I didn't pick up. Hey, Martin said after the beep. It's Kayla. Thanks for dinner again, Mart. That duck and rail. Tell her I said hi. Okay. Hope she's not mad. He came into the room after hanging up. She didn't mean anything. I didn't say she did. You're being cold. No, I said. I'm being accurate. He threw up his hands. God, I can't win with you. You already did, I said, walking away. You just don't remember the prize. 3 more entries that week. 1:13, Kayla voicemail. Smug tone. Confirmed duck entree. 1:14, Martin deflects. Raises voice when confronted. Shifts blame. 1:15, bought separate notebook. Locked drawer. I called it the red book. Facts only. No interpretation. Saturday morning, he brought flowers. Late, but still counts, right? He smiled. I looked at the bouquet. Lilies. Your favorite. They're Kayla's. Mine are peonies. He hesitated. Right? You've never remembered. He placed the vase down. I'm trying. You're defaulting. He stared. What's happening to us? I stopped covering for you. That's not fair. No, I said, but it's true. He shook his head. You think I don't care? That I'm selfish. I think you treat presents as optional. I'm here. No, I said. You just exist near me. I went upstairs and opened the red book. 01:17. Lilies. Her favorite, not mine. Then I closed it and smiled. I walked into the kitchen just as Martin ended a call. She's on the verge of eviction, he said. I set the mail down. Again, she missed to rent payments. How? She said the restaurant cut her hours, and her roommate bailed. What happened to the last roommate? He paused. That girl with the dog. No, the yoga instructor. Before that, right? She moved out because Kayla was too loud. Or because Kayla never paid her half on time. Martin rubbed the back of his neck. I can't just let her get kicked out. I said nothing. She's family. I know. I'll cover it. She promised to pay me back. She always promises. This time's different. It never is. 2 days later, I found him transferring funds on his phone. Same joint account. He turned the screen slightly when I entered. How much this time? He looked up. Just $900. It's all she needs to stay afloat. That's what you said in April. He sighed. She's not taking advantage. She's perfecting it. That's not fair, isn't it? He frowned. She's not manipulative. She cried on speakerphone last time so I'd hear it. She was upset. She timed it. You think she's that calculated. I think she's desperate. And desperation learns tricks. He slid the phone into his pocket. I just want to help her. At what cost? Martin stared at the floor. She's my sister, and I'm your wife. Over the next month, I logged for more transfers. $300. Groceries and meds to $100. Vet emergency $1,000 to $150. Car repair $500. Missed cell bill. About to shut off. Each followed the same formula. Tearful call. Frantic message. Half explanation. Always urgent. Always short term. Always thank you. You're saving me. One morning over coffee, I asked, do you remember when she lost her bartending job? Which one? Exactly. He smiled, uneasy. She has bad luck. She has poor follow-through. She's trying. She's surviving by being everyone else's emergency. Martin set down his mug. You've become really cold about her. I've become observant. She has no one else. She has you. He hesitated. Is that a problem? It's a pattern. Kayla had once moved into a man's condo after 3 weeks of dating. When she left, she took his espresso machine. She said it was a gift. She'd quit a gallery job because the manager disrespected her. I later found out it was because she kept missing weekends. She blamed, wept, redirected, and Martin believed her every time. I'm thinking of co-signing her lease, he said one night. I laughed. I'm serious. No, she can't get a place on her own. She shouldn't get a place. She needs stability. She needs accountability. She's 32 and acting 20. He narrowed his eyes. You never liked her. I liked her fine. Until I saw the reruns. She's not a show. She plays one. He shook his head. You're being harsh. I'm being accurate. She's not malicious. No, she's opportunistic. He looked genuinely offended. She's my sister. And I'm telling you, she's learned how to cry on cue. Later that night, I opened the red book and added 02 10 Martin considering lease cosign. Immediate pushback. Defended Kayla's behavior. Pattern intensifies. I flipped back 5 pages. So many dates. So many receipts. No growth. Only loops. The next morning, Martin left early. I called Kayla. Hey, wow, she said. Didn't expect you to call. Martin's at work, right? What's up? Just wanted to ask about your lease. She went quiet. He said you might need a cosigner. Well, yeah. It's just a backup. Are you working? I'm between jobs. Again, there's not a lot of flexibility right now. Meaning, I'm trying to figure it out. I waited. You know how hard it is for creatives, she said. You work in finance. It's different. You mean it's stable. I mean it's less soul-crushing and easier to pay rent with. Silence. Kayla, do you have any actual plan? I'm applying. To what? Everything. Bartending. Photography gigs. Dog walking, whatever. You're 32. I'm aware of my age. And yet Martin's paying your rent. I didn't ask him to. He offered. Yes. After you cried, she snapped. What's your point? My point is that I see the script. She scoffed. You've never liked me. I stopped trusting you. That's rich. No, I said calmly. That's honest. She hung up. That night, Martin looked up from his pasta. Did you call her? Yes. She said you attacked her. I asked questions. She was upset. She was exposed. He stood. I'm tired of the judgment. And I'm tired of the cycle. She needs support. She needs limits. She's my blood, and I'm the one bleeding. Later, in bed, he turned away from me. I added the day's entry to the red book. 2/11, phone call with Kayla. Defensive. No plan. Confirmed manipulation tactics. Martin refuses confrontation. Loyalty remains misdirected. Then I closed it and turned off the light. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Gregory's office smelled faintly of lemon polish and restraint. Coffee? He asked, gesturing to the carafe on the tray. Just water, I said, settling into the leather chair across from his desk. He poured, slid the glass toward me. Quarterlies looked steady. A couple reallocations from Martin's side, but nothing too unusual. I nodded, tilting my head. I noticed a discrepancy in the bonus deposit. He glanced at the monitor. The performance bonus from last quarter. The deposit was short by 15. He tapped a few keys, eyes narrowing slightly. Let me pull that up. He leaned back. Martin instructed a portion be redirected to cover a personal family loan. I kept my expression flat. Family loan. That's how he phrased it. Do you have a record of that transfer? Gregory hesitated. Internal ledger only. The funds went to a secondary account. Kayla Richardson. I set my water down. Fingers cold. When? 2 days after the bonus posted. Did he authorize that in writing? Yes. Email confirmation. I nodded once. Was it noted anywhere in our joint summaries? His smile faltered. No. It was categorized under discretionary dispersals. Martin specifically requested that it not be itemized. In your quarterly overview. I met his eyes. Did he give a reason? Just that it was a sensitive family matter. I smoothed a non-existent wrinkle in my skirt. And you didn't think to flag that. It's not my place to interfere in internal marital transparency. Of course, I said quietly. He cleared his throat. Would you like me to adjust future reports to include all discretionary activity? No. Leave them as they are. He nodded, grateful. Understood. On the way out, he walked me to the lobby. Let me know if you'd like a duplicate of the transaction log. I have what I need. He paused before opening the door. If I may, are things all right? I looked at him. Why wouldn't they be? No reason, he said, stepping aside. Just habit. Martin was chopping onions when I got home. How'd it go? He asked, voice light. Routine, I said, removing my heels. Gregory say anything interesting? Nope. He smiled. Guy's solid. Little too precise. But hey, it's what you want in a numbers man. I leaned against the counter. You trust him? Completely. Good, I said. That night, he slid into bed beside me. I was thinking we should do that trip next month. That vineyard place you like. I turned off the lamp. Let's talk about it in the morning. I opened the red book. 03/05. Gregory confirms $15,000 transfer to Kayla. Authorized by Martin. Explicitly excluded from shared report. Then I added. Gregory's smile broke. And closed it. The night was quiet except for the soft hum of my monitor. I opened the joint account. Then the credit card statements. Then his retirement allocations. I filtered for Kayla. I filtered for transfer. I filtered for memo. I didn't need guesses anymore. I needed proof. Martin walked in with a bowl of popcorn. Movie? He asked. Maybe later. I said, eyes on the screen. Work stuff. Just reorganizing files. He leaned over, kissed my head. Don't work too hard. I won't. He left the room. I minimized the tax file and opened Excel. The 7th of April 23. Transfer. $2,000. Memo. Tuition deposit the 12th of January 23. Check number 894. $1. 800. Memo. Kayla Med deductible November 29, 22. Zelle transfer. $500. Memo. K. Richardson Thanksgiving stopped counting after $30,000. The next morning, Martin reached for his wallet. Have you seen my debit card? Top drawer, I said without looking up. He found it. You're scary sometimes. How so? Always know where everything is. I have to. He smiled and left. That night, I added more lines to the spreadsheet. Dates, amounts, justifications. Then I created a folder on my desktop, encrypted it, labeled it R. Inside, I saved statement screens PDF titled Patterns. Kayla a Word doc with keywords she used in texts: emergency, unexpected, short term. Back on my feet. At dinner, Martin poured wine. You've been quiet lately. Busy. He tilted his head. Something wrong? No. He waited. We're good. I looked up. You tell me. He reached for my hand. You're my person. I nodded later. I scrolled through my texts with Kayla. The rhythm was obvious, always preceded by a warm-up. Hey, hope you're well. You guys free this weekend? Then the pivot. Actually, any chance you could help? I copied the messages, pasted them into the Word doc. Saturday morning, Martin stood at the sink. She wants to start a small business, he said. Like a side hustle. I took a sip of coffee. Doing what? Event design. Balloons, party stuff. She's allergic to latex. He laughed. She says she's managing it. She barely shows up to brunch. She's trying. She's trying you. He sighed. She just needs a little push. How much this time? She didn't ask for anything. She never has to. He turned to face me. You don't trust her. I audited her. That night, I added 0518. Martin implies future transfer Ray. Kayla's business. Pattern. Emotional appeal gives positioning as investment. Then I cross-checked one more year of bank history found to Venmo. Transactions to KR event. One on my birthday. The folder are now held 36 items. I backed it up to a drive. Labeled that. Mirror. Password. Loyalty. LOWERCASE. Martin walked in just past 10. You're still up? Just reading. He leaned against the door. Want to watch something? Not tonight. You okay? I smiled. Of course. He left. I opened one final tab. Created a new document. Title. Projected burn rate. MR. Discretionary family support to 021 to 024 and saved it. Inside the folder, marked. Evidence. Asterisk. The conference hall buzzed behind me. As I stepped into the hallway, a 312 number flashed across my phone. I hesitated, then answered. Hello. A pause. Then, is this Martin's wife? I moved toward the window. Who's calling? My name is Claire Dawson. I used to live with Kayla. I kept my tone neutral. What's this about? I'm sorry to bother you. It's just something's not adding up. And your name came up on a loan document. My pulse slowed. Go on. Kayla told me Martin was investing in our business. Event design. She said he co-signed a small business loan. I closed my eyes. What business? She called it KR Collective. Said Martin set up the LLC. He didn't mention that. That's why I'm calling. Because I got a letter from the bank. A default notice. And you're listed. Yes, as guarantor. But I never sign anything. How much? 15,000. Same amount. She said Martin gave her for startup costs. I sat on the window bench. What exactly did she say about Martin? That he believed in her. That he wanted to back her because you didn't. I exhaled once. Did she say it was a loan or a gift? She told me it was a silent partnership. That Martin would keep it from you until it took off. Interesting. Then I saw your name on the paperwork. Typed, not signed. That's when I got nervous. Do you have a copy? Yes. I can send it to this number. Sure. I'm sorry, I just didn't know who else to call. You did the right thing. I think she forged it. I should have seen it sooner. But she's persuasive. She's practiced. I feel stupid. You're not. She's consistent. Another pause. He really didn't tell you? No. I thought maybe you were just pretending. No. I said, I don't pretend. An hour later, the document hit my inbox. Loan agreement. $15,000. KR Collective. Guarantors. Claire Dawson. Me. Both names typed. Only Kayla's signature in ink. Back at the hotel, Martin facetimed. How's Chicago? He asked. Informative. Boring? Not at all. Want me to book that restaurant again for when you're back? Let's wait. He tilted his head. Everything okay? Fine. You look tired. Long day. He smiled. Miss you. Do you? Of course. I nodded. Tell Kayla I got her message. His face didn't change. What message? She'll know. That night, I called Claire back. Did you talk to him? She asked. No. Not yet. Do you think he knows she used your name? I think he knows more than he says. Will you confront him? Eventually. Should I lawyer up? Do you have the emails she sent? Yes. Send those too. You're calm. I have a folder, I said. This just adds pages. I renamed the folder. R became case, and I kept building. Asterisk, 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 Elise Hammond's office. Overlooked the river, high and still. No receptionist. No waiting room chatter. Just one direct elevator and a door with no plaque. She stood when I entered. Thanks for meeting off books, I said. I prefer it, she replied. No trails. We sat. I'm not filing, I began. Not yet, Elise nodded. Then tell me what you are doing. Building options. Good. Start with the assets. I moved my bonus $65,000 into a new account. In my name only. Before or after deposit? After. It hit the joint account first. You'll need to show intent. Make a habit of transferring future deposits. I've already rerouted payroll. Her pen scratched notes. What about savings? We have to joint accounts. He handles the high yield. I let him. But I know the numbers. Any debt. Only the mortgage. House is in both names. Equity. Easily to 100,000. Elise smiled faintly. Noted. At home, Martin poured wine. New account? He asked, nodding toward the bank envelope on the table. I shrugged. Needed a buffer. With my new role, I want easier access. He smiled. Smart. You should do the same. I trust what we've got. I nodded. I know. The next time I saw Elise, she handed me a folder. These are protective documents, she said. Not filed. Not activated. But ready. What do they do? They divide shared assets into mirrored accounts. If triggered, it initiates an immediate freeze and audit. Triggers: suspicion of fraud or violation of fiduciary trust. Would Kayla count if your money funded her LLC without consent? Yes. And the forged signature? Criminal, if proven. But this is civil insurance. Quiet disentanglement. Exactly. Martin texted while I was in traffic. Did you transfer the HOA payment? I replied. Handled. Also updated autopay terms. I'll send you the log. 3 minutes later. You're efficient. I stared at the screen. Efficient. Not angry. Not suspicious. He had no idea. Does he know you've seen the records? Elise asked during our next call. No. Good. Don't tip him. I'm not. Eliminate shared platforms. Dropbox. Google Drive. Already done. Eliminate digital bleed. I have a private laptop now. Keep using his for shared tasks. So nothing looks off. Exactly. That night, Martin stood in the doorway. You're different lately. Focused on myself. He laughed. Fair enough. I opened my laptop. Encrypted the latest docs. Account transfers. By source asset tracker. Version 3 legal leverage opening parenthesis private closing parenthesis DOCX inside. I added a single sentence. Prepared. Not provoked. And closed the file. The table was set for 3. Candles lit. Napkins folded tight. I opened the wine just before the doorbell rang. Martin answered. She brought dessert. He called. Kayla swept in. Fox fur over one shoulder. Lips bright red. I didn't know. You baked. I don't, I said, taking the foiled tray. But I reheated well. She smirked and sat. This is cute. Like old times. Martin poured wine. To Kayla. She raised her glass. To being another year wiser. To seeing things clearly. I said. We sipped. Dinner was short ribs. Silence chewed between bites. Kayla glanced around. New centerpiece. I nodded. Gift to myself. Martin smiled. Looks expensive. Less than I've spent on rescue missions. Kayla laughed. Touche. I stood. Retrieved the folder from the credenza. Placed it beside her wine glass. She looked down. What's this? Receipts, I said. Her smile wavered. For what? Everything. Martin leaned forward. What is this? Open it. Kayla flipped it open. The first page was the ledger. Payments. Dates. Memos. Her name over and over. Her eyes stopped moving halfway through. Martin glanced at her. Kay. She shut the folder. I don't understand. I took my time slicing the roast. $42,370. Over 23 months. Categorized as tuition, dental, gifts, rent. None of it reimbursed. Martin's voice dropped. How did you? I audit. Kayla pushed the folder aside. This feels intense. I agree. Martin frowned. Why now? It's her birthday, I said. I thought truth would be an appropriate gift. Kayla scoffed. You're unbelievable. I'm methodical. Martin reached for the folder. You tracked all this? Yes. You went through my accounts? Our accounts. He opened the folder. You categorized. I itemized. He flipped a page. This was just help. She forged my name on a loan application. He froze. What? Kayla's chair scraped. That's not proven. You used my name. You typed it. I didn't submit it. You listed me as guarantor. Martin looked at her. Is that true? It was just a draft. Did you use her name? Kayla stood. It wasn't that serious. Martin looked at me. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted you both present. Kayla laughed. You're really playing the martyr. No, I said. I'm presenting findings. Martin's voice rose. Why would you fake her name? She wasn't supposed to see it. I turned to him. That money you gave her, the LLC. The events, none of it existed. She used your account, your trust, my name. Kayla's face flushed. You're both ridiculous. Martin looked down at the folder again. I protected you, I said, until you became the risk. He met my eyes. I didn't know. You chose not to ask. Kayla grabbed her coat. I'm not doing this. Sit, Martin said quietly. No, I don't owe her anything. You owe her everything, he said. She froze. He turned to me. What now? I stood, picked up the folder. That depends on how fast you remember whose name is on the deed. And I walked out of the room. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The door shut behind Kayla like punctuation. Sharp. Final. Martin didn't move. I gathered plates in silence, one by one, the weight of ceramics steadier than his breathing. She blindsided me, he said quietly. I stacked the silverware. Did she? I didn't know about the signature. No, you just financed the lie. He stepped into the kitchen. It wasn't like that. How was it, then? She said she needed help. She always does. She told me she'd pay me back. Do you even remember how many times she said that? He ran a hand through his hair. I thought she meant it. You never thought past the story she gave you. He watched me dry the wine glasses. You make it sound like I was complicit. You were. Martin flinched. I didn't know. You didn't ask. I trusted her. And you broke us. I didn't mean to. But you did. He leaned on the counter. What do you want me to say? Nothing. Then what? I reached into the drawer and pulled out the folder Elise had prepared. Pale gray. No label. He stared. What's that? An update. On? Our finances. The trust. The house. Your access. He blinked. Are you? No. I'm not leaving. Yet. He opened the folder slowly, scanning the top page. Asset protection clause? Revised. You moved your bonus? A while ago. Closed the joint accounts. Yesterday. He looked up. You did this behind my back. You did worse in front of my face. He read silently, lips pressed flat. This is cold. This is calculated. You didn't even talk to me. I was done talking. Martin closed the folder. So what? You're punishing me. I'm protecting myself. I said I was sorry. You did. And you can keep saying it from that side of the line. What? Line? The legal one. He scoffed. So we're business partners now. No, I said. I'm exiting the unpaid position of collateral. He set the folder down. This isn't us. It is. You just never looked at the terms. Are you seriously doing this? I already did. He shook his head. What happens next? You sign, or you leave. You'd kick me out. No. I just stopped sharing the cost of keeping you. His voice dropped. You're not being fair. I'm being precise. Martin stared at the floor. This isn't what I want. You wanted loyalty without accountability. I wanted peace. Then you shouldn't have built your sister's future with my silence. He looked at the papers again, then at me. I still love you, he said. I believe that, I replied. But I don't trust it. He swallowed hard. What if I refuse? Then the next document won't be optional. He picked up a pen and signed. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The email came in at 6:14 a.m. Subject line. Found this, do what you want with it. I opened it in the still dark kitchen. Claire's message was short. From the KR folder. I hadn't seen it until now. Sorry. It took this long. The attachment was a screenshot. Loan application. Time stamped 6 months prior. Applicant. Kayla Richardson. Guarantor. Martin Reynolds. Signature. Forged, not a copy-paste job. Not digital. She'd signed his name in ink. Then scanned it back in. Martin was in the shower when I called Elise. I just forwarded you something. I said. I'm looking at it now, she replied. That's not his signature. It's not even close. Forgery is a felony. You want to escalate this? No. You sure? I'm not pressing anything. I'm documenting, she paused. That makes 3 confirmed forgeries. 1 with your name. Now 2 with his. She used us both. She won't stop unless someone stops her. She will. Soon. You sound certain. I'm done holding the umbrella. At breakfast, Martin sat down across from me. You're quiet again. I've been thinking. About? What happens when the storm follows you home? He frowned. What storm? I slid my phone across the table. Opened to the email. He stared at it. What is this? You tell me. His eyes scanned the screen. She used my name. Yes. He pushed the phone away. I didn't authorize this. I know. He rubbed his temple. She didn't even ask. She never had to. His voice cracked. This is fraud. Yes. And you're just showing me now? I wanted to see if you'd find it first. You're testing me now. No. I'm watching. He stood. I can't do this right now. You already did. He backed away. Hands up. What do you want me to say? Nothing. I didn't know. But she did. He stared at the window. I should call the bank. She listed you as co-signer. If they processed it, you're already liable. He sank into the chair. Why would she do this? She always does this. He looked at me. Empty. Why didn't I see it? Because she cried and you called it lightning. I sent the folder to Elise that afternoon. All of it. Subject line. Closure. That evening, Martin stood at the sink, drying a glass. Do you think she's dangerous? No, I said. Just destructive? He placed the glass down gently. You were right. I was prepared. He nodded slowly. You always are. I turned off the light. Now so are you. Asterisk. Yes. I'm not running. I didn't say you were. He hesitated. Can I call you? No. He nodded. Slow. Will you be okay? I already am. Martin looked at the house like it had shrunk. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. I know. I thought I was helping. I know that too. He took a breath. I wish I'd seen it. Didn't pack much. A few shirts. His cufflink box. The shaving kit I gave him years ago that he never replaced. He stood by the door longer than necessary. You sure? He asked. It earlier. You were looking the other way. He stepped outside, then paused. You really kept everything together. I always did. The room felt bigger without him. His nightstand was empty. A faint ring of condensation marking where he'd set his glass every night. The closet hung half full. The air held nothing. That first week, I slept diagonally, just to feel the space. I repainted the study to Saturdays later. The taupe was gone. I chose a soft navy. Confident, contained. The lease stopped by. You did this yourself? She asked. 3 coats. It's clean. That's the point. She smiled, then handed me a document. The final separation language. Just in case. I'll file it. No rush. But it's yours now. I opened the violin case on a Tuesday. The bow was still resin-dusted, the strings loose from time. I tightened them slowly, listening for tension. Then I played the first scale. Rusty. Uneven. True. Maya came by for tea. You look good, she said. I feel good. What did you do with the guest room? I'm making it a library. She raised a brow. A whole room. I need shelves. And solitude. I nodded. That too. By week 6, the closet held only my clothes. I didn't shift anything to fill the space. It stayed open. Bear Gregory called about the joint account audit. You're in the clear, he said. All transfers flagged. Nothing owed. Thank you. He paused. He's asked if I'd still handle his books. You should. I wanted to check first. I'm not in the business of vengeance. He hesitated. You were always the quiet one. I still am, but somehow louder. That Friday, I unpacked the books I'd boxed away during our second-year poetry theory. That old novel I never finished. I lined them spine out across the wall. The silence in the room shifted, not emptier. Just mine. Asterisk, 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 the real toss slid the papers across the table. You're sure? She asked. Yes. No mortgage, no financing. Cash. She blinked, then smiled. We don't see that often. I signed. Slowly. Intentionally. The keys sat in a velvet pouch beside the deed. It's not large. 600 square feet. 1 bedroom. Glass doors that open to the sound of waves. The paint smells new. The floor's still covered in plastic. The lease met me at the curb. Is this it? She asked. It is. She held out her hand. Congratulations. I dropped the keys into her palm. Go ahead. She opened the door and stepped inside. Wow. Efficient, right? Elegant. We stood in silence. The ocean hummed behind the walls. Did you tell anyone else? She asked. No. Good. I'm not hiding it. I didn't say you were. I walked to the window. I just want something that doesn't need explanation. You earned that. I built that. The receipt arrived by email. I printed it on thick cardstock. 1 line. Final purchase price. Paid in full. Buyer. My name. I framed it in matte black. It sits on my desk beneath the window. Elise looked at it and smiled. Statement piece. No, I said. Proof. Maya texted. Lunch this week. I replied. Out of town. Soon. Martin sent an email. Tax doc forwarded. Let me know if anything missing. I responded. Received. All set. No one asked where I was. I didn't offer. That night, I walked the sand alone. Just my sandals in hand. The sea pulling at my ankles. The air smelled like salt and something else, freedom, maybe. When I returned, I unpacked 1 box, books, pens, the violin, still quiet, and the red book. I slid it into the bottom drawer, locked it, left it there. The next morning, I brewed coffee and sat by the window. No noise, no footsteps, no other toothbrush. My name was on everything, the deed, the keys, the future. That was the receipt I wanted. And now, I had it.